Okay, so good evening. We unfortunately do not have a quorum right now. We have two commissioners that are running late in traffic. So we will begin our CAC meeting as soon as they arrive. Good evening. I am Chair Nathan Sticks, calling to order the Newcastle Community Activities Commission meeting of June 12th, 2024. The time is 6:15 p.m. This public meeting is being recorded, broadcast live, and may be viewed later on the city's YouTube channel. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay. Please note that Commissioners Forsberg and Van Natta will be absent tonight and are excused. Commissioner Flash is on his way, stuck in traffic, but will be here shortly. And so, Amy, could you please call the roll?
Certainly. Commissioner Lee. Present. Commissioner D'Souza.
Present.
Commissioner Kretzinger.
Present.
Chair Sticks.
Present. Thank you. Okay, agenda approval. Is there any objection to approval of tonight's agenda as presented? No objections. Please show the final agenda approved as presented. Approval of minutes. Is there any objection to approval of the minutes from May 8th as presented? No objections. Please show the minutes approved as presented. Public comment. Amy, do we have anybody for public comment tonight?
We do not.
Okay, thank you. Next, we're going to do our commissioner comments and celebrations. Commissioners, is anything anyone would like to share tonight?
I have things.
Okay.
I have things. June and July has a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to lead with Happy Pride Month to everyone represented by the Pride flag and their supporters. You are welcome here and your engagement is valued and important. On that note, I hope to see you at the Pride celebration on June 18th at 5 p.m. in Lakebourne Park. Importantly, Juneteenth is next Wednesday, commemorating June 19th, 1865, when news of the Emancipation Proclamation and freedom from chattel slavery finally reached enslaved people in Galveston, Texas, 2.5 years after the proclamation was issued. Happy Juneteenth to members of our community who celebrate. Your voices and engagement in our community are welcome, valued, and important. Since we won't have another meeting until after the 4th of July, I would like to wish everyone a happy Independence Day. May we continue to strive for the expansive vision of freedom that makes our nation great and cannot be achieved if and when we are only willing to extend those freedoms to those we agree with. Have a great time at Fireworks on the Lake on Saturday, July 6th. It's a great opportunity to get to know more of your fellow Newcastle residents while enjoying some food, music by Soul Siren, and of course, the fireworks. And those are all of my comments for this portion of.
Thank you, Christian. Anybody else?
I would like to, first of all, thank you very much to Christian for reminding us and me, especially me, that we won't meet again until after the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to everyone. I would just like to voice my own very personal disappointment that City Council has voted to, or chosen to discontinue the tradition of flying the Pride flag at City Hall. Other than that, welcome to summer.
Thank you. I actually have some comments from Commissioner Van Natta that I'd like to read that she sent me. She says, "I'm sorry I'm unable to attend our June Newcastle Community Activities Commission meeting tonight. I want to thank the Newcastle Police Department, King County Sheriff's Office, and the Coleman for hosting the Roll and Patrol event. These relationship building outreach opportunities are critical to public safety and effective policing. I appreciate the effort our Newcastle Police Department has made to schedule events on a variety of dates, times, and locations to accommodate the diverse needs of our community and individuals. I also want to honor the historical legacies recognized by both Pride and Juneteenth this month. I celebrate the rich lives and contributions of these Americans, and I stand shoulder to shoulder with everyone in our community who recognizes that there is still work to be done to protect human and civil rights in America. Our country and our city, like all of us, are still a work in progress. I encourage everyone in our community to take the effort to listen to and understand the lived experiences of people from all walks of life. If you're not sure where to start, the Newcastle Library has friendly librarians who can help you pick books that explore diverse authors, artists, and subjects. Their summer reading program is open to all ages and encourages 20 minutes of reading a day. I hope to see you there and at many of our other community activities and city has planned this summer. Thank you, Commissioner Van Natta. I also would like to make a comment. First, as a celebration, I want to congratulate Sergeant Treadway for his promotion and his years of service to the city of Newcastle for keeping us a safer community. And personally, he's done a lot for the neighborhood of Olympus in making our streets a lot safer. So congratulations to Sergeant Treadway. I'd also like to thank my commissioners for your comments tonight. I too support Pride Month and all it stands for. I wish our city council could have continued to support this great effort to show our city's support and equality and diversity, and I'm very disappointed in their reasoning and comments. Okay, that concludes our comments and celebrations. Let's go over committee reports. So the first, events and recreation. Amy.
Alrighty. So some of these things we have in general business. However, I will try to speak to the city side of those things and let the commissioners speak to the commission side of things. And certainly we are all on Newcastle Days. So with the Fireworks on the Lake event, I know Commissioner D'Souza is going to speak about the CAC piece there with the booth. However, just a reminder, Saturday, July 6th is right around the corner. The Coal Creek Banner, Parkway Banner, ooh, tongue twister tonight. I'm picking up in Kirkland tomorrow, and it will go up over Coal Creek Parkway next week, marking the beginning of our summer events. The posters, thank you to Commissioner D'Souza for helping design those. Those will also start to go out next week, so you'll see those lovely posters all over the city and such next week. All the permits, license, all that sort of behind the scenes work, they've been submitted and confirmed. And I'm happy to report our lineup of food for the evening, which everybody loves to know. We are able to accommodate 2 trucks in our venue at Lake Bourne Park. We have Big Dog, recommended by Chair Sticks, also used by a number of other municipalities in our area. Super great people to work with. So Big Dog is coming. They do gourmet hot dogs. Isidro's does Mexican food, and I am super excited to have them on board. We have tried to have them come to our events before, and again, it's been a pleasure to work with them. And we have a number of food tents. And again, all of these folks have been absolutely terrific to work with. We have local businesses and summer sponsors, DIY T-Lab and Jersey Mike's. We also have Tasties returning. Tasties is a longtime vendor at our events. Tasties will do kettle corn, shave ice, plain hot dogs, and burgers. We also are welcoming back Thai Street Gourmet and Kaur's Kitchen. Thai Street does Thai food. Kaur's Kitchen does Indian, South Asian. And I am very excited to introduce you to 2 new vendors. Puffle Up. I met at the Hazen High School AAPI festival a couple weeks ago, and they also work with Culinex, which is one of the commissaries I work through to recruit vendors. They do Korean cheese dogs. So it's basically deep fried mozzarella on a stick with a whole bunch of different toppings. The kids loved it, or I should say the older students loved it. They also do ramen and other, sorts of main meal kind of things. And Choco Fruity. So Choco Fruity takes bowls of strawberries and puts whatever sort of toppings you want on them. Chocolate syrup, sprinkles, all sorts of yummy treats. So we have a variety of cuisines. We have a variety of main meals, snack type foods, and desserts. So I'm very excited about this lineup, and hopefully you are too. As far as booze, we typically don't host a lot of booze. We just don't have the space because of the amount of attendance that we have. But do know the city will have its booth. Waste Management, as our platinum sponsor, will also host a booth. The Newcastle Arts Council also comes, and they host a snack shack for quick service snacks and drinks. And the Scouts. The local Scouts and Alpha Pyrotechnics team up, and they do Push the Plunger raffle, and they also provide some support at the event as well. Questions about the fireworks event?
I have a question, and I apologize if this just indicates that I haven't been paying attention. What time do food trucks and all that start?
Good question. I didn't indicate that on the report, and I think it's worth repeating. 6 o'clock is when the event opens to the public, so the food trucks will be ready to go no later than 6 p.m. At 8 p.m. is when Soul Siren takes the stage, and then at 10 p.m., the winner of the Push the Plunger raffle will push the plunger, and the fireworks show will begin, and it will last approximately 20 minutes. So the event ends around 10:20. Other questions?
The food trucks, I remember last year, I think they ran out of food right around when everyone was wanting food.
So, I mean, obviously we can't control that, but what we can do is provide the best communication possible. So when I spoke to Culinex about helping us recruit vendors from their commissary, I specified that we need folks who can handle a large crowd very quickly in a short period of time. I gave them a sense of the numbers, and that they would be expected to be there for the duration of the event. So beyond that, there's not a lot I can do to control. I was hoping to get a 10th. We had 9 last year, and I was hoping to get a 10th, and I'm still open to that and exploring that. I don't know that that would necessarily solve the issue, but all of that information has been communicated, and we will hope for the best.
Also, I think Mercer Island canceled their fireworks, their July 4th fireworks. Didn't Renton also cancel?
Yes, that's what we've heard.
Do we anticipate more participation at our fireworks because of it?
Well, their events were on the 4th of July, not on Saturday the 6th. So given that we're unique in having it on our own special day, I have a feeling it's going to be a very high attendance.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
regardless of anybody canceling theirs.
I mean, that's something we have a crowd management plan in place that we clear with the fire department. Chief Kajihiro prepares an incident action report, so we prepare for all of those scenarios. I mean, certainly, we don't know necessarily the exact number that will show up, but we plan for the highest we can anticipate, and then go from there. As far as Renton, the city of Renton has canceled their 4th of July fireworks, and they're doing something associated with Renton River Days. I think they're exploring a drone show, if I'm correct. I it was my understanding that Mercer Island didn't do fireworks on the 4th, but they do fireworks with their Mercer Island days in the middle of the summer. So, but I could be mistaken about that.
I think I was just mostly concerned about crowd management if we anticipated more.
Yes, so
More
one of
cities
the
coming.
permits, licenses, and fees submitted is a crowd management plan. Yeah. Any other questions about the fireworks event? Okay, awesome. Briefly, concerts in the park will begin on Wednesday, July 17th, and then subsequently for the following 3 Wednesdays, those begin at 7. They generally end at about 8:30. Coal Creek Parkway banner and permission goes out almost immediately after July 6th because the turnaround time between the 6th and the 17th is quite short. And I'm currently working on securing the 4 food vendors for each of those concerts. Questions about the concerts? And then my note about Newcastle Days is brief because that's an agenda item. Planning is well underway and we will discuss under 8.5. Programs, just a reminder that Skyhawk Sports Programming has returned to Lake Bourne Park and summer camps are now open for registration. There are a whole lot of interesting things. There is beach volleyball, there's cheerleading, there's introduction to golf, there's things for 4-year-olds, there's things for 12 years old. So take a look. I have the link pinned at the top of our Facebook page. So take a look, spread the word. Just a whole lot of fun programming happening. And just a reminder, the next issue of the volunteer newsletter will go out on June 21st. So not this Friday, next Friday. It will include the call for volunteers for the Newcastle Art Fair that is happening on July 20th. And an online sign up has been prepared and it's just going back and forth between the Arts Council and myself until it gets posted live. So that's a volunteer opportunity coming up. But certainly if you know of other volunteer opportunities or organizations looking for volunteers, send them my way and we will include that in the volunteer newsletter. And then finally, very exciting, our new Parks and Trails planner, Brandon Hutchins, starts on Monday, June 17th. So I look forward to meeting him myself and then introducing him to the commission at an upcoming meeting.
Do we anticipate he'll be at our July meeting, do you think?
I can't say.
Okay.
It really
We
depends
don't
on
know yet.
his,
All right.
yeah. Any questions? I kind of ran through the last part of it really quickly. Are there any questions about anything? Cool.
All right, thank you, Amy. Well, let's go through community group reports. So Christian, can we start with you? Anything new for the Historical Society and Chamber of Commerce?
Currently, the Chamber has no upcoming events on their calendar, but they are seeking sponsors for the beer and wine tent at Newcastle Days. The Chamber hosts it, but they do allow businesses to sponsor, and also they will need volunteers to help staff it day of. So that's an opportunity to sign up and volunteer and get to see a lot of your neighbors. And then the Historical Society, unfortunately, was not able to host their Memorial Day cleanup and tours due to some changes in insurance requirements that weren't clear and were unable to be resolved in time. I don't foresee that to be a problem going forward. And then earlier this month, the Historical Society co-sponsored an event at the library about how the railroad shaped our lands and communities, which I'm sure you could visit the library and ask for more information if that's something that you're interested in. And that's all I have for my groups.
Thank you. Shally, any updates for the YMCA?
I do. Thank you, Nathan. And thank you for, getting me in touch with the right people. So I appreciate that. Okay, so first of all, there is an event on Monday, July 1st called Kids Create. It's a gingerbread beach house, and it is free to the community. The next free event is Friday, August 23rd. That is their summer movie night. They'll have games and activities for families starting at 6:30 p.m. with an outdoor movie on an inflatable screen at 8:15, which is a great way to end summer vacation. And there are other programs that are open to non-members but not free. Are there swim lessons? They have expanded more opportunities for swim lessons with more options over the summer, with morning, evening, and weekend lessons. And in addition to Skyhawks, the Y will also do half-day sports camps in July and August. And more information can be found on their website. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Lee.
Nothing new from trails this time.
Thank you. Okay, so that concludes our committee reports. We'll get an update from the Arts Council when Ed gets here. Just a reminder to please send me your notes this evening so I can get that for council. Thank you. We'll go on to general business. So first thing under general business is Nathan is going to give you an update on summer sponsorship. So thank you, Nathan. I have exciting news. So we had a goal this year to raise $49,500 and we have exceeded it. So we are right now at $49,675. So we've achieved our goal and we still may have a few late entries coming in. So there's still a few local businesses that we, Ed, Amy, and I are still trying to reach out to. But we should all be very pleased with the results and an update on number of sponsors. So last year we had 20 total, and this year we have 27. So we've got more people that have come out to say we would love to sponsor and be a part of the Newcastle summer event. So we're very, very excited about that. Every time you go on, it kicks us off. That's interesting.
Ooh, I must have the master mic. If I may, Chair Six, I would like to add some comments. On behalf of the city, I would very much like to thank Chair Sticks and Vice Chair Flash for their time and effort to be the boots on the ground, connecting with the businesses, being the personal face, and doing what I did not have the bandwidth to be able to do. They had a lot of success converting folks who had a booth or were interested in a booth at Newcastle Days, converting those folks into the bronze level sponsorship to guarantee that they would have a booth space, but also benefit from all summer month promotion. And so that success in converting those sponsors is a big reason why I think we were able to reach the goal, but also to have so many people participate as sponsors. And I do want to offer a plug. Yes, there is opportunity. It's too late to get on the Coal Creek Parkway banner. It's almost too late to be a gold level sponsor, which gets you on the side stage banners, which is a pretty good deal. But there is opportunity should you want to be a silver or a gold, silver or a bronze. We can still accommodate those, and absolutely to be a show sponsor for the car show or a trophy sponsor. So if you know of a business that wants to put their name on something, for $150 you can sponsor a car show trophy. So that's a really nice deal. And we can continue to accept those probably through about mid-July before we'll need to make a call on those. But again, thank you to the commission for their support on that.
Thank you, Amy. Appreciate the kind comments as well. 30th anniversary, Christian, any updates?
Well, first I'd like to say I love seeing the key community contributors that have been posted so far. Those look great. And I want to say huge thanks to Amy for all of her work getting these out, and to Ed and Kim, Commissioner Flash and Commissioner Van Atta for helping manage this as well. I will admit that I'm currently a bit behind on getting some of these ready for posting and publishing, but consider this my public statement of accountability that I'll catch them up over the next week. Does anybody else have any comments or contributions on this particular subject?
I would just like to say that when I see the publication, it makes me proud to be a part of Newcastle, and the fact that we decided to take the initiative to recognize these folks. And when I see them in person, I get big smiles when I go, "Hey, I just saw an article about you," and they just beam. So, good job, you guys.
Yeah, it makes me smile every time I see a
Yeah.
post because it reminds me of what makes it so great to live in this community. It's all these people that show up and do all this sometimes thankless work. So, one of the things we decided we were going to do for the 30th anniversary in conjunction with the library is a coloring page for kids and a local artist. Two things we need to nail down. What should the title be? Number one. And should we have like a few sentences, like 2-ish, at the bottom of the page about Newcastle and the 30th anniversary, or is just the title sufficient?
I'm thinking a couple of sentences kind of describing it would probably be very helpful and informative also.
Be thinking just a little bit about like Newcastle's background and when it was founded, etc. Okay.
Probably, it might depend too on what all is included in the picture, in the picture, yeah, in the drawing.
If you remember, the commission had set a charge of doing like a blow-up map. So it's gonna be a map with different monuments, features, that sort of thing. I have not, the page is ready, I have not seen it yet.
This is just for coloring.
Yeah, this is just for the coloring page. Yeah, so, okay, so now let's then loop back to, do we have any ideas for the title?
So we're trying to tie it into the 30th anniversary, right?
Yes. I mean, we can keep it simple and be like, Newcastle turns 30. Or if anybody has any more clever ideas, then
Newcastle, the year we were founded to this year, so
Oh, yeah.
to show 30 years might be cool. And it maybe even make it so that they can color that in as well.
okay.
I will think on that. Send you.
Okay.
Any
Good.
ideas.
Thank you.
You ask the kids? Kids have any ideas?
That's a good idea.
They're clever.
Sometimes too much so.
Can that go into the mic? I missed that.
Sorry, I said, did you ask the kids? They have clever ideas.
And I said
Yeah.
sometimes too much so.
Who's doing the art? Is it Dana Sullivan? No? Okay.
Oh, Stacy Carpine,
Oh,
who's
okay.
also a longtime Newcastle resident, and she's done coloring pages for celebrations of the Newcastle Library, Renton Highlands Library. So this is kind of a thing she does as a.
Yeah, I didn't know
Project.
where I got the idea that Dana was doing it.
Dina did the logo.
Oh, God, okay. A thought occurs to me that maybe, I don't know if this is too much, but maybe ask Stacy, hey, what does this speak to for you?
Okay. I mean, I'm open to all ideas, and certainly, especially if they're more creative than just saying Newcastle 30th anniversary, because that's all I've got right now. Yeah. Hooray! Vice Chair Flash has arrived.
Stage right.
Welcome.
Anything else, Christian, on the anniversary?
We talked about getting the businesses involved and seeing if they wanted to like do any like promotional tie-ins around the 30th anniversary, like 30% off for happy hour on the 30th of every month, or that was just an idea that I threw out there. Does anybody want to take the lead on reaching out to the businesses around this?
Did you have certain ones in mind? Or just anyone that would,
Any of them? All of them? I mean, especially like the wrong way. Brick and mortars and like Newcastle Commons are probably where I would start, just in the downtown corridor and there. But
if you send me some language exactly what you want, I'm more than happy to send some emails or make some phone calls.
okay,
Okay.
Likewise, I'm happy to, if you send some language, I'm happy to communicate that with our summer sponsors,
perfect.
because I'm going to be doing a lot of communication with them. So I would
Okay.
happily take the lead on those businesses that are our summer sponsors.
Okay, that would be great.
I can do the businesses too,
Wonderful.
since I've already talked to a lot of them for
All the other things.
PTA fundraisers.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Okay.
I would just take our sponsorship list, that's out on the shared drive that includes all the businesses in Newcastle, and just divvy them up. So
Okay.
amongst the people that,
All right. Then next question around that. Divvy up the businesses amongst the three of you or all of us?
whoever wants to participate.
Okay. And then do you want some more like ideas, or do you want the businesses to just come up with stuff on their own?
Well, I think we should have some type of a RSVP so that we know, some way for them to get back to us to let us know, are
Okay.
they interested in participating? It could even be, I don't know, as simple as something online that we could do that says, if you're interested, go to this place and just, tell us.
Ooh, is this an
Like
what your
option
plan
to
is.
use forms?
This is a wonderful place to use forms.
Great.
So you all as commissioners have access to the Microsoft Suite, which includes forms, which I used for the gathering the Lights of Newcastle participants, but then also the People's Choice voting. It's like Google Forms, but Microsoft. So it's very user friendly, and you all can access it. And as a commission, you can all view it, edit it. So that's a great way to collaborate online.
Okay, so we could send out just a link to the form, and then the business could fill in the form. Okay. And then, do we have a 30th anniversary webpage on the? Okay. Just wondering if there was a place where we could list things around that, like associated with that event. It doesn't even have to be its own page, on the events page, where its 30th anniversary stuff is, where we could say, these businesses are doing these.
Yes, we can create a page under our events umbrella, similar to the way that I created a page for the 30th anniversary community contributors.
Okay.
So we can create a page of 30th, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll just, 30th anniversary page, we can circle back on that
Absolutely. Yep.
in a little more detail and hopefully make it as uncomplicated as possible. And then the only other ask I have.
I have a thought.
Oh, okay.
So when we get ready to hand out the flyers, distribute the flyers, we could be also promoting this idea.
I love that. That's a great plan.
And I'm thinking, there's the flyer, and then there's this little handout that simply says, are you interested in participating in a discount, some type of promotion, some way of promoting your business, but also to celebrate our 30th anniversary. And here's where you can do that. Let us know what you would like to do.
Yeah. Yes.
So we
Okay.
could all help with the flyer distribution as well, so.
Okay.
So I've got July 6th taken care of. Those flyers are going out next week. I have Pat Detmer and Fred Canada. They help us pretty much since Patty recruited them. So we'd be looking at probably doing this with the concerts. So fireworks is taken care of. That's happening next week. So something like that would be the week following July 6th.
Which is going to be before our July meeting, so that all we have to do is somehow coordinate, like getting an email blast to all of us to say, we got this ready, let's hit the pavement.
Okay.
And we can figure out
Said I
who's doing
have-
what.
This.
Seriously, it'll take us a matter of a couple hours and we'll be done. It's
Yeah.
very simple, I think.
Yeah, and we have email addresses for a lot of
Right.
the vendors too, so we
And
can follow up with an email. It's really easy.
info. Okay. Just making note because that's an action item. We want that ready to go by July 6th, roughly, because we'll hand out stuff the next week, right? Just a little information about if you want to do something as a tie-in with the 30th anniversary, like go here. Put in your info. Okay. Amy, I will put something together, a rough draft, and then send it to you. And you can tell me what you think. Okay?
And then I will make you the concerts flyer. And do you want a Newcastle days? Okay, I'll work on the concerts one though.
Okay. All right, and then the scavenger hunt. Who would like to meet with me sometime? Well, let's start with, when do we want it to go live? Didn't we talk about August leading up until Newcastle days is the time frame? So it'll go live on August 1st. Amy, when do you need us to have all of the information hammered out to hit that go live target? Well, I'm about to ask for volunteers to help me hammer out the details. And then we can meet, but when would we need to get the details
Oh, I see.
finalized and to you in order for a go live date of August 1st?
It depends on the scope of what it means to go live.
Okay.
So I would say if you're looking at creating a web page and a whole bunch of handouts and something that's very complex, we need more lead time than if you're simply doing something like pumpkins in the park.
I'm thinking, post on the city social media, like put it in the newsletter,
Have a downloadable link.
have a downloadable link.
In that case, if you're designing all the handouts and everything, I don't really need a lot of lead time at all, like a week. However,
Okay.
you do want to be mindful, if you are looking to launch it in a newsletter, be mindful of the newsletter calendar.
Okay.
So the newsletter goes out the Friday before the Tuesday council meeting each month.
Right.
So for example, this Friday, a citywide newsletter will go out because there's a council meeting on the 18th. And then the next one will go out, I'm not looking at a calendar, it will go out the Friday before the July 2nd.
That one's canceled for
Okay.
the
Okay, so
Independence Day week.
I will still send it out on that cadence.
Will you still, okay,
Yeah.
so you'll send it out the Friday before July, right, but then
And
the next
then
one,
2 weeks after that, I would send it out. So if you're
Okay.
looking to go live in August, look at when the council meeting would be scheduled, and the Friday
Okay.
before is
okay,
when you'd want to get things in for the newsletter.
okay, that's good to know. And that also kind of gives me a picture also of what you would need for the, just to, not just when, but what you would need. So I think that's it for me on the 30th anniversary, unless anybody else has any snazzy ideas or things they want to discuss. No?
Quick question for Amy, are you still looking for, and maybe we already discussed this before I arrived, I apologize for that, but are you still looking for names of people to honor as part of the celebration? Because we have a list, and where I'm following up with people that have not submitted stuff, I just want to make sure that that's still part of the plan.
I don't think I understand the question.
Ed, I think you may have arrived right after I made myself publicly accountable for being a little bit behind on getting things to her
Okay,
in publishable, ready
Oh, okay.
format.
Okay.
And I will have that caught up by a week from now. I'll have that caught up and make sure that, and we can revisit how many more people on the list we need to reach out to, if any.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it depends on how, like, knowing that basically I'm doing one a week, or two every newsletter. It depends on how long you want us to go. Do you want it to go through Newcastle Days and end at Newcastle Days? Then obviously that gives you a final number. If you want to continue doing it after Newcastle Days, we can go as long or as short as you want. So it really is up to the subcommittee as to how many names. I would recommend just plotting it out on a calendar, and if you like the end date, great. If you don't, then keep going.
Okay, we will revisit as a group then. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Christian, very much. You guys are working hard on that. We really appreciate it. Can I take a reverse of the agenda and go back to,
Please, because I have to go to the restroom.
we're going to have Vice Chair Flash review the Newcastle Art Council, what's going on.
Thank you. So I do apologize for being late tonight. Hopefully that won't happen again. Before I give the Arts Council report, though, I just want to thank everyone here on the committee for sitting on this commission, for being supportive of activities and creating community in Newcastle. This is my public comment period, or my commissioner sub-comments and celebration time. The city has gone through some pretty unwanted publicity over the last week and a half, and I don't think anybody expected that or wanted that. I just want to, with that said, thank everyone here for their commitment to creating community in Newcastle, for making this a really special place to live, and for honoring the diversity that we have in our community. So thank you for that, and continue to do the great work that we're doing. And hopefully that's something that we have an impact on the broader community and can bring that to the entire community. So thank you for that. Okay, Arts Council. We have a lot going. We've had a lot going on, and we have a bunch more going on. So I'm just going to hit a couple of highlights. Chair Sticks, I will send you the report after the meeting. But past events, probably the biggest thing we had was a rock painting event on June 1st, and we had 200 people that came to that event at the park to paint rocks. So that was wonderful. I think that was about 40% more than we had last year at the same event. So it's growing and building and continues to be a wonderful activity, an annual activity. As I always say, Newcastle loves their painted rocks, which is evident by the fact that we had 200 people show up for that activity. We are, this Friday, if you're interested in supporting Newcastle Arts Council, we're doing a fundraiser with Jersey Mike's, so go and support them. I will give you a flyer. They're offering us a discount, or to patrons a discount, and then also for those that are supporting the Newcastle Arts Council, a donation to our organization. We are doing a family garden fun activity at the Newcastle Library on the 25th. We have a Gretchen Yanover concert on July 13th, and Gretchen Yanover is this great electronic cellist. And she just came out with a new album. I think this will be the third time that we've had her here in Newcastle. So she loves coming here, and we love supporting her as an artist. And then we are accepting entries for our fall art exhibition. So those entries are due by July 14th. So I would encourage anybody to participate in that. It is an adult-only activity, and so 16 and above is how we have defined that. This will be the 7th year, I believe, that we've done that activity. We're still collecting bottle caps, so please continue to drop those off at the city if that's okay with you guys. We're trying to narrow down a date for the summer where we'll put something together, but right now we actually still need more bottle caps. So, and then the art fair is on the 20th of July, so we are soliciting volunteers for that day. So if anybody's interested in volunteering, we will soon, very soon, be sending out a volunteer sign-up genius with the help of Amy. And we'd love to get some volunteers to help out on that day, all throughout the day. So that starts from 7 in the morning till actually 7 at night. And then the Newcastle Arts Council will be present at the summer events, the concerts in July 6th with our Snack Shack. So come by and support us in that activity. And that's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Next, under our general business, fireworks on the lake. So Shelley, take it away.
Okay, so the major logistics have been taken care of by Amy, so thank you. What's left up to us is, oh, and before I start, there is a correction to the flyer. I actually did not make it. My daughter Roma made it. So just shout out to her. So I wanted to discuss what materials do we want at our tent. I know we had talked about last year putting, leaving flyers on the table for upcoming events for people to take. Is there anything else that we should keep at the tent?
Should we have a clipboard kind of thing for volunteer signups?
Yes, I like that.
And for that, I would love to see us add, Amy, if we could get it, just a nice laminated sign that says interested in volunteering with the city of Newcastle. So it's easy for them to see, big letters, and we can reuse that at every event and town hall meetings and wherever, just to make it really obvious that, because sometimes when we've got a lot of flyers and handouts and things on the table, it's easy to miss that we're actually wanting people to sign up to be a volunteer. And it could say like all ages or specify
Can we
age groups.
have a sign up sheet with a QR code?
Yes. It's where it's QRing to.
The sign up.
To yes, or we could QR code them to the volunteer newsletter and add them to that monthly list. So then we have that name ongoing for not just the city, but for all of the organizations. So it really depends on where you want that QR code to go.
Is the city going to have a table there too, or is our table the city's table?
So city staff are the crowd managers. So city staff is going to be out and about, but yes, the space will be shared with, the city may want to put some things down. And we may want to store our stuff there too.
I want to go back, if I may please, to the idea of lamination. Does the city have a laminating machine? Okay, cool.
So I seem to remember, Shelley, you were there most of the time last year, right? Did you get specific questions that we need to address with materials or anything like that? Or requests or that we could have prepared ahead of time?
I think the biggest thing was questions, which only Connor could answer, that I could not answer. A lot of questions about city things.
So I can brainstorm with staff how to address that because Connor's largely going to be unavailable, as will I, as will the rest of the maintenance team. I believe Director Bronze will be there, City Manager Pingle. And we're largely going to have to be we're the trained crowd management people. So we'll brainstorm how to support you in that. Or whoever, Charlie's taking this on as the CAC lead, but it's not just Charlie. It's any of the commissioners who decide to staff that event that evening. We'll come up with a way to support you in that.
Quick question. Were a lot of the questions pretty much the same?
No, they were mostly directed for like only things that Connor or Jeff Bronze could answer. But they were all kinds of things. Why don't we have this? Why don't we have that? I don't know.
I was just hoping to make a frequently asked questions, like question and answer sheet to help us out ahead of time, if possible, but alas, our citizenry is wily and curious, so they don't all ask the same questions, which is probably a good thing.
So I'm wondering too, it sounds like, it sounds like some of those things can possibly be addressed through C-Click-Fix. So I would have a QR code for that as well and direct people to that. So if they have issues that need to be fixed around the city, they can submit that. And what's wonderful about that is the city really does respond to those and responds very quickly. So it's a great venue to have people ask questions or express issues that they have or concerns that they have through that venue.
I like that. The other thing was business cards.
Yep.
That way I can say, I don't know, you can ask this person.
Yeah, so we do have C-Click-Fix cards that would be appropriate. So, if you see that something needs repaired or filled or you have concerns out, C-Click-Fix is a good tool for that. However, more procedural questions, licensing, permitting, that sort of thing, C-Click-Fix wouldn't be the best solution for that. That's where you would have business cards for the directors or the planning commission or something. So that will be on me to help provide support in that way.
Or do we have a general email for information at City of Newcastle? We don't, okay.
No, that's communications at.
Okay, got it, all right. So another thing, along the business cards, I don't know if it would make more sense to have the list there of key people to have that available. So people can take a picture of it.
Oh, like a cheat sheet for the commissioners to know who does what?
Yeah, or
And what their email is.
Yeah.
So that you could just write that down. Here's their email and take
Right.
it away from there.
or take a picture on your phone.
Yeah.
Or put it directly into your contact list. And if you can always direct them to the website too, because the list is on the website, as we all know, but.
Would that all help?
Yes, and there are a lot of people that did ask, we have a Facebook page, or how do I get to this page? There's a website? And so I think that would be good to put
I have those already prepared
Okay.
from Lunar New Year, so those will be good to go. So how to follow us on social media,
Yes.
how to stay connected with Newcastle.
That would be great.
Okay.
Anything else, Shelley?
Yes. Social. Who can be there to staff the event? Anyone?
I can maybe help, but I need to check
Yeah.
my calendar. I don't know if I'm going to be in town.
I can email everyone a sign up because it's from 6 to 10 ish.
And you can certainly do it in shifts. But it's a good FaceTime for the commission to be able to interface with thousands.
Is it going to be same setup as the last time? Kind of
Similar
right by the
setup.
bathroom?
The booths may be shifted depending on electricity needs, but yeah,
Got it. Okay.
similar setup.
Okay.
And then, as far as music goes, do you have any suggestions on a playlist for about 10 minutes before the fireworks go on? Do we want like party songs or more patriotic songs, slow songs, fast songs? I would say about five songs would make it about 10 minutes. Something to think about.
So the sequence of events is the band playing during the fireworks or before the fireworks, and then there's
There's a
a gap, and then there's the
gap, right?
fireworks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess music leading up to the fireworks, right?
So 6 to 8, everybody's finding their spot, getting some food, chatting, entering the push the plunger raffle. For later on, 8 to 10 is when Soul Siren comes on and does their show. And then at 10 o'clock, the winner of the Push the Plunger raffle, hosted by the Scouts, pushes the plunger, and off the fireworks go for up to 20 minutes. It's the song list that plays during that. When the fireworks are going, what music do you want to hear?
Oh, it's during the fire. Can we hear music?
Yeah.
During the fireworks.
So we're looking for we're looking for a theme
Oh.
for the show.
fireworks.
Is that, I mean, that's what we're looking for?
And if you want to listen to a good one, if you can get on King 5 and watch the fireworks from New Year's Eve, it was a wonderful playlist. But that would require someone to put that together. And how does that happen?
You name the song and the artist, how much of the song you'd like to play. Then we assemble it on Spotify or Pandora. Then we send it to the AT Productions. They download it, and that's it.
There you go.
Yeah, and we take care of all the licensing and all that, music licensing. Yeah.
So I elect, if commissioners are not present at tonight's meeting, that we elect no, I'm just kidding.
So then we would need about 20 minutes or 10, 15 minutes?
I would say about 10 to 15-ish.
Okay.
Yep.
This is fun.
So that's still 5 songs.
Yeah.
4
or 5
5 or 6, 5 or 6.
Songs can be edited, the guitar solo in the middle can be shortened.
Or we could do Stairway to Heaven twice.
Well, I can tell you, I am not good at music to go along with fireworks, especially with the variety of songs that are available these days. I don't know.
Okay, I'll send something out to everyone to get some suggestions.
That's a great idea. And I know, not to put Kim on the spot. Thank you, Kim. She always has some really good ideas as far as connecting the dots with things, whether it's the fireworks and the music and the genre, whatever. Okay, thank you. Ed, concerts in the park.
Yeah, so we're really excited to have 4 great bands this year for the concerts in the park. In fact, I was talking to someone and they go, oh, you should contact so-and-so. And we go, well, actually, they are the 4th band that we're playing. So it was really great. Okay, so similar questions, really. We need coverage. So do we want a booth? And I'm assuming we do. And then we need coverage. And what do we want to do with that? And then, Amy, a question for you. Who does the announcements and the script and all that stuff during the concerts?
I do, but I am happy to have the commission's input and support on that. So if there are ideas, absolutely.
Okay. So do we have a sign-up sheet for that, for the concerts?
I've not created one, no.
Okay, so, can we send one around to everybody? So there, and remind me the dates again.
Wednesday, July 17th, Wednesday, July 24th, Wednesday, July 31st,
And the
and
se-
Wednesday, August 7th.
okay. And it's gonna be from,
7 to 8:30 is when the music will play.
okay,
So the event will open with the food vendors a little bit earlier than that.
So we would need the booth man starting at 6 to 8:30.
yeah,
City staff will set up the physical booth.
So we can, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I will be present at all but the final concert. I will not be available for the 7th.
So let's have a simple spreadsheet on SharePoint, and then if you want to send an email to everybody, just
Yep.
to remind them to go in and sign up.
And we'll be looking for how many volunteers per evening? Ideally.
two, yeah,
Two?
probably two, I think.
Well, think about this. It's a nice, comfortable tent you get to sit under with a nice, comfortable chair. Or bring your own folding chair that you can sit
Yeah.
behind the table.
But then the next question is, do we want to do things differently for in terms of having information there for July 6th versus the concerts, or is it pretty much the same thing?
I would think having consistent information is gonna be helpful not only for us, but for visitors as well.
Okay, okay,
And we will, Connie will be reviewing at our July 10th meeting a questionnaire that she's working on, which is off to a fabulous start, that we can use, whether it's, we want to start using it at some point during the concerts, but specifically, I think our target was Newcastle Days. But we could definitely do some of it at the concerts.
okay. So we'll put together a spreadsheet, expect an email, and then if you guys know, like, look at your calendars. I will probably be there, like Amy, for the first three, but not the last one. So that's all I had. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And last thing is Newcastle Days. Take it away, Amy.
Alrighty, so I'm taking this one because Commissioner Forsberg is out, and she along with Christian our Newcastle Days subcommittee. So I'd like to call attention to the fact that the website has launched. It launched at the beginning of the month. So it's newcastlewa.gov/Newcastle Days. It is a work in progress, but it is where it needs to be right now, and it will be fleshed out as the summer season goes. And we have our sponsors. We'll put up the sponsor logos as we get more information about each of the tabs that you see. It will continue to evolve, but it is where it needs to be right now. And I would like to highlight for you our calls for. We are currently actively calling for stage performers, so folks who want to perform on stage. There is a short link. It is, or if you're familiar with Bitly, it's bit.ly/Newcastle Days Stage. This is all on the website as well, and that'll hook people up to the information. There's an online application. There's a downloadable application. And we are getting, with relatively little outreach on my part, we're getting that those stage applications in. We will be looking at them as a subcommittee on Monday when we meet. Good news, Liberty High School will sing our national anthem. As you know, my goal is to alternate between our two districts, and last year Hazen High School sang the anthem, and this year Liberty High School will sing the anthem. I do have some sad news, and I'm sorry that, Kim's going to be taken off guard by this, but it is UW Band Day, so neither of our marching bands can come because, so every other year it's UW Band Day. So both Hazen High School and Liberty High School are unable to join us, the bands. Their drill teams are coming, but the bands themselves. So if you have some good leads on local marching bands that may not be participating in UW Band Day, I'm going to reach out to some other local regional schools because that really did make a difference to have a marching band.
Maybe we can get the Seahawk drum, the drum
Ooh,
corps. Would that be
right.
unreal?
The blue, what are they? The
Yeah.
Blue Thunder.
Blue
Blue
Thunder.
Thunder?
Is that it? Blue
Maybe.
Thunder?
Yep.
Another thought I just had, speaking of UW, is they have an alumni band. I wonder if we could scare up any of them to come. They're fun.
Don't you think they'd be there?
So UW Band Day
no, I
is
don't know.
actually when all the high schools get to come and they just perform on the field at UW. So there's a possibility, you're right, that the alumni band may not be performing on that day.
I would think that they might not be, yeah.
Yes, if anybody has a connection, let me know. That's a great idea.
I have none, but I'm gonna pursue it. I'm gonna
Yes.
try to look it up.
We need that band. So moving on from that, we are actively recruiting for community booths. So of our 27 sponsors, 20 of them are coming on Newcastle Days for booths, which is super exciting. And we are getting booth applications in, and I have not even put the call out. I simply have put up the event dates on social media and in our newsletter, and we are already getting applications for community booths.
How many total booths do we have?
So we are typically we've accommodated about 45 community booths plus our food vendors. We're really looking at the map to try to get more in because we always have a wait list. Yes, so if you know any business, nonprofit organization, or artist handcrafter who's interested, the deadline is July 19th. We do not have an early bird this year. The pricing is $150 for business general, $100 for handcraft artisan, and $50 for nonprofit. And that short link is bit.ly Newcastle Days booths. And again, this is on our Newcastle Days website. And it has an online application as well as a PDF downloadable. We are also accepting food vendors. And again, we're getting food vendors with relatively little call for. We already have some applications for food vendors. They are also due on July 19th. And for Newcastle Days, we are charging for food vendor booth space. It is $150. Also, we have the Cars on the Green Auto Show, and thank you to the committee of volunteers in our community who helped make that happen. They are distributing the flyers as we speak, not only to raise awareness, but also to get participants and potentially some sponsors. We do have Newcastle Shell and the Garage in Renton, who are show sponsors for our Cars on the Green Auto Show right now, but we have room for more. And we have trophies too. With the car show, we really, really want to encourage people to pre-register because it makes logistics much easier. So we are offering free pre-registration up until 2 days before the event. If you know anything about car shows, many people tend to wait until they know what the weather is before they participate. So we're offering that free pre-registration, and that will be $20 on the day of to register. So we're really trying to give the incentive to pre-register. There is also 2 days before, so Thursday, September 5th, and then it's $20 on the day of. There's also a short link. It's bit.ly Newcastle Auto Show, I believe. I should have written that down. And again, the information is all on our website. It is also in the Facebook event. If you click on the Facebook event, it has all the short links in there as well. I had the opportunity to welcome the Hazelwood second graders a week ago for their field trip. And I polled them about some of the things that might help inform our planning, and I promised I would share with them the results of their polling with the commission who helps make these decisions. So one ask I had of the second graders is if they had a particular recommendation for a cake flavor as we're celebrating our 30th birthday. And so they were given 3 options: chocolate cake, vanilla cake, or the swirl marble cake, the mix of chocolate and vanilla. Hands down, the vote is for marble. So if we're able to accommodate that, I would like to, for the record, state that Hazelwood second graders have voted for that. Hazelwood second graders also were given a vote on preference for food trucks. So I asked them, would they prefer hot dogs, burgers, or pizza? And hands down, it was pizza. So I am really working hard to try to accommodate getting a pizza vendor for both the fireworks and for Newcastle Days. So I would like to state for the record, thank you to the Hazelwood second graders for their inputs. It is much appreciated. And finally, what I'd like to do is, so Christian, Connie and I are the planning subcommittee, but I know others of you had signed up to participate in other roles. And so I'm wondering, who is it that would like to help me with the volunteer recruitment and communication and all of that?
I believe I had thrown my hat in with regard to volunteers. Yes, and as I feel like I learned last year, it's never too early.
Alrighty, awesome, thank you. And the other thing that the commission is hugely helpful for is the parade. And I suspect that may be Kim, but I also don't want, like, if there was another commissioner who really wanted to work on the parade, there's not a lot of work that happens until August, but I want to kind of have that plan in place and communicate with that person ahead of time so that we know the parade is there.
I would love to be like a backup helper to Kim. Just, I don't want to lead this, because I have enough of my own to handle. But more importantly, fall soccer schedule means I don't know if I get to be there at the time of the parade. So I would love to help with the planning and ideally be there. But I would not like to lead it since I don't know.
Excellent, thank you. It's always good practice for people to learn so that you have 2 people who have that institutional knowledge. I will reach out to Commissioner Van Atta and just confirm before we automatically assign that to her. And those were kind of the 2 other roles, I needed to know about now, sooner rather than later, so I can connect with those commissioners. Are there any questions about Newcastle Days?
Are we going to get the same MC that we had last year?
We are.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you need help setting up on the day of? Like how you did last year with the tables and the signs?
We will.
Okay. You can put me down for that.
Yeah, everybody's a volunteer that day.
So we haven't really talked about this yet, but I would like to propose that we actually have designated responsibilities of who's going to be on site and doing what. I'd like us all to be there basically when we need to be first thing in the morning. There's a lot to do, And the more of us, if all of us can be there, will really make things run a lot smoother. So I'd like to have like a little, what do you call it, when you have a
Duty roster.
yeah, but there's also the whole practicing, like when we get there, we already a dress rehearsal. Thank you, Ed. So we all know in advance exactly where we're supposed to be, when we're supposed to be, how it's supposed to run. So we're not like just getting there and going, what do you need me to do? Because there will be a lot to do.
So with that, or in preparation for that, at what point are we gonna have a minute by minute, 30, half hour by half hour schedule? Because we're gonna kind of need that, I think, to make sure everybody understands where they need to be. I kind of feel like the morning of is an all hands on deck sort of situation. Am I correct in that?
Right.
Okay. So having a schedule as minute as it needs to be.
So I think we
Probably
need to come to our August meeting with that schedule, and then have whatever dress rehearsal or a week prior, whether we meet in the park and kind of see the layout, the vision, and then know exactly what and where we're supposed to be. And this year, I really want to try, Amy, if we can, and that's have the radios, so that we have the ability to quickly talk to each other. And it could be a different radio set that maintenance has, because they have a whole different setup. But instead of trying to, it's hard. First of all, the signal in Lake Bourne Park is.
Good news in that regard, and I did not bring it up with the fireworks on the lake. So I apologize. So I have been working with T-Mobile to come up with a solution to not only the connectivity issue, but the congestion issue, particularly for vendors, but also for staff. And so we are working on what will be a long-term permanent solution. We have a temporary solution backup if our sticking point right now is T-Mobile coming up with a physical equipment proposal that works in our park. And they are actively working, a partner with us, and so it's just a matter of getting that. So we will have something in place, even if it's temporary for fireworks, but I am looking at a more permanent location, permanent solution that is going to be ongoing year after year, event after event. And we will have the ability to set up a private Wi-Fi network that has priority coverage. So if the network gets congested, everybody else gets bumped off except for the people on the private network and, well, the 911 emergency people. They never get knocked off. So that private network we could set up just for event staff, another private network for the food vendors. So we will have that ability to communicate via text, phone, internet coverage.
So are you thinking then that instead of radios, this will be our way to communicate with each other? Or can we also look at a radio?
I'm thinking that the infrastructure will be in place for you to be able to communicate via phones. If you still want to pursue radios, then I still look into radios.
I mean, just personally, working at the golf course, we have radios, and it's a super easy, quick way to communicate with each other. I get a little nervous when you're having to text. I don't know. I guess I'm not as comfortable with this device in my hand as I would be just a radio, because then you just squeeze the trigger and you instantaneous talk to everybody. So I don't know. I'd really like us, if we could, to get radios.
Would you be willing to train the group on
I
it?
am on it.
Okay.
You give that to me, I am on it.
I was gonna say, if we all have a radio, we need to know how to use it, because someone gave it to me last year and I didn't know what to do with all the buttons.
Well, and the funny story that last year, I had a radio and I was linked to one of the maintenance gentlemen, and we had a situation, and we kept trying to call him, and unfortunately, to his oops, it was turned off. So mine was on, his was off, but yeah, we got the situation resolved. It was a happy ending. But yeah, I would be happy to own that, Amy. Give me it.
Can we all wear black suits and have earpieces? Just kidding. That's a joke. That's not real. Just for the
I already have
masses
my
that aren't
own
watching.
earpiece.
As long as they're
No.
with black shorts.
The CAC
But-
subcommittee for Newcastle Days determined that we're getting green t-shirts, but that can certainly be revisited should the subcommittee want.
Are those green t-shirts just for us, or the whole volunteer group gets the same t-shirts?
Usually it's for all of the volunteers and event staff, but that could certainly be discussed among the CAC Newcastle Days subcommittee.
I just want them to be good.
I think the volunteers, just the regular volunteers, not us paid people, the regular volunteers, community people, I think they should have their own.
I may be being a little picky here, but can we get women's t-shirts? Like separate women's cut t-shirts, if possible?
You don't get unless you ask, right? So
So I just will ask your guys' opinion. So I was at was it the town hall? And I don't think it was, I don't remember. One of the council members was wearing a Newcastle polo shirt, and it looked very smart. And I went, boy, if there was one that said Community Activities Commissioner, CAC, with a Newcastle logo, I thought we would look very official and smart, and it would be I'm going to buy this on my own if I can for the commissioners. Dry fit material, so it's something we could wear when it's 95 or 100 degrees out. Would that be something we'd be interested in?
Sure, why, I mean, I'd wear it if that was the uniform for the day. Yeah.
Ditto.
Okay. Not sure about the fit part of that, but we could work on that. Okay, something I will pursue.
Is there anything else commissioners wanted to discuss at this time on Newcastle Days?
just anything else you need from us at this point?
No, thankfully, we have the committee that meets on Monday, which is, super helpful to have. I mean, most of it is just, if you know of people who want to have a booth, want to have a food truck, want to participate in the car show, getting the word out that now is the time to sign up and do that.
So people to participate in the car show, is that, I always thought there was some organization that put that together. Is that not the case?
So it's a group of volunteers who just really love cars and car shows, and they've been doing this for years. Susie O'Brien, her husband Steve, and then Mark Riker and his wife Mary. They know a lot of car groups. They know the scene. I know Mark and Mary show their own cars. So they do, they recruit volunteers to help specifically with the car show. They set everything up. They accept the registrations. So they're not enough. I mean, they basically coordinate it for us. But I support them heavily in order to make it happen.
And then they're the ones who recruited the Newport High School football team to
Yes,
volunteer there.
Yep.
Do we expect the same
that is the
sort of
plan.
support this time? Okay.
Mhm. Well, I certainly, if there's anything that comes up, anything I need to know about Newcastle Days, let me know.
Okay, thank you, Amy. So a big thank you, commissioners, tonight. I thought we had a very good, productive meeting. I appreciate everybody coming prepared and having good discussion, so thank you, everyone. Amy, is there any additional public comment?
No, there's not.
Surprise, surprise. Okay. Before I go over the planning calendar, if we were to get a dry fit polo, is there a particular color that we would all like to have?
Not green.
Not green.
Anything slimming.
So the polo shirt that the council member was wearing was navy blue, and I thought it looked very smart, but would red be okay?
Like Newcastle maroon? Red?
Or red stripes on the flag red.
Red, red. No red? Maroon? Maroon? Well, I'm just looking at everybody. Okay.
I would want to look at the colors just to make sure, because.
Oh, nothing will be done until it gets previewed.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. I need a whole bunch of work there. May not happen this year, but let's see. Okay. So with that, planning calendar, our next meeting, CAC meeting, is Wednesday, July the 10th at 6 p.m. As somebody else already said earlier, because we will not be meeting before the 4th of July, happy 4th of July to everybody. Happy Independence Day. And with that,
And Juneteenth is next week. I just want to remind everyone too. So happy June.
I mentioned that earlier too. Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
Sorry,
Thank
missed
you.
that.
If there is nothing further, the time is 7:41 p.m. and we will call this meeting adjourned.